Paris-Dakar Rally Special is a game with a reputation. If you know the term kusoge, then you're probably aware of the game. The term is a Japanese portmanteau that basically means crap game, and Paris-Dakar Rally Special is one of the most infamous examples of it. It feels like they couldn't decide what kind of game to make, so they made all of them, and then they didn't make any of them good. It was developed by ISCO, who you might remember from such games as Transformers: Convoy no Nazo. I'd like to say that they've gotten better since then, but Paris-Dakar Rally Special is at about the same level. If you're not aware, the Paris-Dakar Rally is a race that is exactly what it says. Traditionally, it starts in Paris and ends in Dakar, though in some years circumstances have required that they run the race in completely different locations. And the big feature of the race is trying to make your way through the Sahara Desert. When you start the game up, it's an adventure game, and your first tasks are to get a sponsor, get some money, get a car, and get a partner. You can enter most of the buildings and ask people about these things, but the basics are the car club has to recommend you to a sponsor. The sponsor gives you a debit card but not a PIN, so you have to chase down some guys to get that. The bank gives you the money, which you then take to the store and buy a car. I chose the four-wheel drive because it's useful in later stages. In retrospect, I probably should have chosen the normal car. Then you go back to the auto club to take an exam in order to find your partner. For the exam, you have to press the A and the B buttons when they appear, and the quicker you do it, the better your partner is, and that means the better your car will handle. You might notice that the times don't actually cover the full range of possible times, so I actually don't know for sure if I got a B or a C rank with my time. When you have a partner, then it's time to start the rally. And that's the end of all the adventure game content in Paris-Dakar Rally Special. It consisted of just walking from building to building, and talking to people about the exact same 5 topics over and over again. It was totally unnecessary, and not very good. On to stage 1 of the rally, where we're actually racing. And this is the only stage where we will be racing. You have to press up on the controller to accelerate your car, and on this leg you mainly have to dodge other drivers and the barrels that are placed in the road. The hitboxes on the cars are iffy. It feels like it isn't necessarily centered on your car. And the result of that is as cars rush up from the bottom of the screen at you, which will happen a lot, that sometimes you'll get out of the way, and sometimes you'll get hit, and it's not always clear what the difference is between those two. You have 3 lives to complete the stage with, but there are infinite continues so you don't have to do the adventure game mode again. And the way that cars shift around and rush up at you makes this insanely difficult. It's an exercise in frustration where you'll just be hit over and over again, and it feels like there wasn't anything you could do about it. Keep an eye out for these G's on the ground. They give you additional gas. If you manage to eventually survive the first stage, you go to a bonus stage where you have to bounce your guy around on the car and collect G's and T's. The G's are additional gas, and the T is more time in the next stage. Stage 2 is an overhead view of some streets, and there's about 3 or 4 screens of different street layouts. The length of the course is about 100 screens. So you're going to be seeing the same layout over and over again. The left-hand side always has a straight channel up, but a truck often shoots up through it. You can press the A button to drop an oil slick, and any vehicle that collides with it will run backwards for a few seconds. If 2 vehicles touch it, the oil slick turns into a gas pickup. The worst part about this section is that turning corners requires some precision. If you're not exactly lined up with the corner, you'll get stuck there for a moment. Eventually you'll make it to the end of this, go through another bonus stage, and then it's time for the side-scrolling segment. Now this may look like a platformer, but it's not. Your car cannot jump. You can, however, fire bullets out the front of it when you press A. Use those to take out the small animals in front of you. Sometimes you'll find your car's path blocked by an obstacle. When you run up against those, you'll get out, and then you have to clear the obstacle before you can get back into your car. Now the A button jumps, but it doesn't jump consistently. How you jump depends on how long you've been moving. Not how fast you've been moving, how long you've been moving. You always seem to move at the same speed, but you have to move about 3 body lengths before you can get your full jump. Watch out for this jump here. You have to walk on the clouds to do it. Obviously, you just have to realize that you can walk on clouds for some reason. On this driving segment, the important thing is to keep moving forward. It's a long segment, and you'll run out of time if you wait for a good gap between obstacles. With that stage done, you do another side-scrolling stage almost identical to it. This one is crossing the ocean on a bridge. And here, if you fall into the water, you'll have to wait several seconds for your partner to get out of the car and lower a ladder to you. And that's where I stopped, because I don't hate myself enough to go on. I think at this point it's clear that nothing in this game plays well. The controls are terrible, and it's simultaneously frustrating enough to be annoying, and also repetitive enough to be boring. If you want to play a decent-ish Paris-Dakar Rally game, Victory Run on the PC Engine is based on that race, though they didn't use the name, and it was released about a month before Paris-Dakar Rally Special. I can't say I'm fond of it, but it's better than this. Paris-Dakar Rally is a game that you challenge people to beat as a bet. It's one that you take on to prove that you can do it. It's not a game that you'd pick up and play to enjoy.